Welcome. Tiny Hands, Big Dreams. I just got back from Zamora. I'm going to tell you a bit about Zamora and my experiences today. It speaks to Ecuador and our experiences as extranjeros, outsiders, foreigners here. And it's different from what we hear from a lot of other people. I get really tired of hearing the, oh, well, they're going to take advantage of you, they're going to this, they're going to turn on you, they're things, they're going to try to like... That's not the experience we continuously have over and over and over, and it really speaks to maybe the person who's saying it and who they are and how they interact with other people. I had to go to Zamora today. Tell you the whole story real quick. So, car repair. Nobody loves car repair. Car repair is you're just hoping to get back to where you were yesterday by spending time and money. I used to be a mechanic. I get it. So I call up, I message my mechanic we used to go to in Loja. Shh, Toby. Shh, quiet. He's a very good mechanic. If you ever need a mechanic in Loja who is an excellent example of a human in general and a very good mechanic, let me know. We'll send you his contact. And I said, hey, I've got a problem with the alternator. My voltage is too high. My regulator's failed. I need somebody to just change the regulator. I don't want to buy a whole new alternator. We're trying to be cheap. We have no money. I really just want the little regulator. Okay. So he actually goes and he messages around and he thinks, Toby, shh, quiet. Quiet. I didn't go see him. I was trying to catch the last of the beautiful sunset light to do this video. He's upset. So he goes and he goes, the closest I can find to you is Zamora. It's further away than I wanted. Okay, all right. So he sends me the contact. I message the guy, hey, didn't you change your regulator, alternator thing? Oh, yeah. How much to change it? He says $20. I'm like, can you do it while I wait? And he goes, sure, not a problem. Tomorrow morning. Great. It's a little longer, it's a little thing, but it's cheap and we get it done. So I get there. And I make sure I find the right guy. And okay, I'm going to go pull the alternator. He's like, you're going to go pull it? I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go pull it. It's not a big deal. It'll take me 10 minutes. It's out in the street. Do that here. So I go and pull the alternator. And then I go up to him and he goes, okay. So he goes and he starts pulling it apart. And he's looking at it and he's like, well, this is good. This is good. Up. Yep. Yeah, it's a bad part. It's the regulator. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, can you change it? And he goes, sure. Do you have one? Oh, that was a communication. Oh, that was miscommunication. By me saying, can you change it? I guess I sort of implied, do you have one to change it to? That's on me. My Spanish. Okay, so he doesn't have the part. And now it's become this bigger thing, and he's calling around, he's looking these things. The local place doesn't have it. He's calling other cities. He's trying contacts. He's doing this whole thing, trying to get this part. It's really nice of him. Take time out of his day, and this is suddenly a lot more time of him having to sit there and use his phone when he could be working on customers' cars. My wife, my lovely wife, who's an excellent culinary artist, occasionally takes scraps of things that are left over and puts them together in new and wonderful ways and makes little treats and stuff. And so today she makes me these little treats. I'm like, you know what? Can I have a few extra? Sometimes I like to share. I just share. I don't know. It's something I like to do. So she gives me a few extra, and I go up to the mechanic there and I'm like, hey, and I said, this is a thing from my family that we like to make. It's a gift. That's all. It's a small thing. It wasn't major. And he was like, oh, okay, that's really nice. So the part's on its way. That starts going. I now have hours and hours to wait for this part to show up on a bus. What do you do? Well, so I decided to wander around Zamora. And traditionally, we've not enjoyed the vibe of Zamora. And I'm like, you know what? Different time, different day, different thing. So I had to get over to the bus station. I had to send a package up to Loja. So I'm like, I'll go over there. The bus station is modern and new, and I'm looking around. It's actually It's actually really nice. Okay, I kind of like it. Find the place, do the thing. Okay, it's $2 to send it. That's great. And then I'm like, right next door is that new Central Market they built. And then surrounded all around the Central Market is a whole bunch more of like commercial shops and things. I'm like, I'm gonna go wander. Like, I don't really need anything, but I'm gonna go wander. See the new Central Market. I am quite pleasantly surprised. Let me tell you, I didn't have my setup to take video and audio, so I didn't unfortunately get video and audio. But I go up the upstairs. There's an escalator, and all of a sudden, all the things are laid out, and it's pretty similar to other markets. The first thing I notice is there's not the smell like the Aloha Market. Aloha Market smells. You can hear the fish section, it smells. The meat section, the beef, the pork, the chicken, it's all sitting out. They have fridges and stuff, but most of the meat literally just hangs out front. That's how they sell it. The Zamora Market, they have provided them all with fancy, cooler glass case things. Doesn't smell. Also, everything looks fresher because it's refrigerated. I'm like, wow, that's a nice touch. I like that. I would be happier about buying my meat now here. And then I go over and there's some booths with spices, and not just laden, like top to bottom, left to right. There's this little woman just buried in a pile, but good quality spices, and not just tiny bags, good sized bags, and in a good selection, and the oddballs and the things. And I'm like, there's things that I don't see here, even in Aloha. Interesting. And then as I'm wandering around, they have some other booths of just other things. There's one selling clay pottery from whatever city makes that, and some handicrafts from around. And I realized they may have done something really good by putting the bus station, which is also like a distribution hub for packages, next to the market. The market now has goods and things and produce from far away. This is kind of neat. So I wandered around for a few minutes and was actually rather impressed. And it's smaller than the Aloha Market for sure, but it was cleaner and it's well laid out. It's very modern. I was actually quite impressed with it. Popped out of there, and there's all the little shops that are around that area. And like I said, they needed some yucca starch, cassava starch, and I needed a little tiny notebook. I use it around here for projects, writing stuff down, and I couldn't find a little one at the bigger stores. I'm like, I'll just try some of these little stationery stores. They're everywhere, and I see one and I'm like, that one looks really nice. Just looks clean from the outside. They have this nice display and a big glass window. I'm like, I'll just wander in there, and I wander in, and it's not a huge store, but it's very well laid out. It's very well stocked. Everything is very nicely shelved and so I start talking to the lady. I'm looking for this, looking for that. She goes on, she digs, and she's got that, she's got this, she's got that. She's like the best selection. How much is this notebook? 70 cents. That's great. She had exactly what I wanted. And I'm looking around it, and she had like a nice selection of a lot of different little things, from colored pencils to art supplies to. And I complimented her, and I said, I really like your little store. It's very clean. It's nicely lit out. I understand how much work it is to display stuff like this. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, no, I can appreciate it for what it is. And she was honestly just very gratified that I would notice her labors. And she seemed very pleased with that. So I bought my little notebook. It's not like it costs a lot of money. And I continued my wanderings, and it's a warm day in Zamora. It's probably in the 80s. Very sunny, very warm. And I'm just kind of enjoying on Zamora, kind of having a good day there. Which is actually the city that is right next to our property for sale. If you're looking for a lovely, like, executive mountaintop property to put a gorgeous house on with a view of the entire city below you, where it's slightly cooler and tranquil and wonderful, let us know. We just did a video a couple weeks ago. Check that out. So okay, so I wander back down and I go and I camp out in the van for a little bit. The part shows up. Okay, and the guy hands me the stuff and the things, and he's like, "You're gonna put it in?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got it." And he's like, "Okay, we'll bring it back. I want to check the voltage." Okay, hands me all the stuff. I wander away, and I'm like, as I'm wandering away, I'm like, I didn't actually pay him for all the stuff that I'm now holding. I've wandered off down the street. Okay, you trust me. So I install the alternator. I get it all in. I check it. Better. It's not quite right. Okay. So I spin around, and he gets out his voltmeter, and he's checking a couple things, and he pulls stuff apart, and he's like, there's something weird with the whole alternator. It's still just making a little bit too high of a voltage. For those that are interested, it's making 15 volts. It was at 15.8. I may just title this whole video $38 for less than a volt. And I get to that by the part was $36, and there was $2 in transit to get it to us. And I asked him, and he's like, you're probably going to have to change the whole alternator to get it down to the correct voltage of like 14.4, 14.5. And in a lead acid battery, that little bit makes a difference. I didn't want to do that. I still don't want to do that. The alternator is probably at least $80 or $90. But it'll eat the battery by overvolting it. I said, okay. And he goes, I can look around. I can call Guayaquil. Things are cheaper in Guayaquil. All right. I'm like, this one will have to suffice for a minute. And I said, what do I owe you? And he goes, just the part and the shipping, $38. He didn't charge me for his time throughout the day. He didn't charge me for what was just to change the part, which he did, and he did that work. And then all of the extra time of his looking around, and the problem wasn't fixed. I'm a gringo. I don't speak great Spanish. Terrible. He's a central downtown mechanic-y person. I don't live there. There's every opportunity for him to simply charge me too much. And what am I going to say? I'm going to say, okay, I don't have a choice. And he doesn't. He actually doesn't even charge me. I said, well, I'm going to get that alternator in the future. So I'll let you know like when I can do that. And this was my experience in Zamora today. Otherwise, I people watched for a while, and I'm like, maybe my original opinion of Zamora was wrong. Actually, I really kind of liked it. And another win in the category of, I really just like the people of Ecuador. And I wanted to get that out. I just wanted to say it, have just a little mini informal kind of video here. It goes against a lot of what I hear of the us against them kind of dichotomy, black and white. It's not like that. Be a good person. Be nice to other people. Comes back to you. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you for the next one.